Well, it's no accident that Cocoon is a movie about, staying young. And two actors who've been in the business a long time and have stayed young throughout. Don Ameche, Maureen Stapleton. Is it indelicate to ask both of you together how many years we have represented here in show business between the two of you?
Well, mine, let me see, Thanksgiving Day, 1928. It'll be what, 57 years?
I don't believe it.
57 years.
That's more than a half a century just for one of you. So we can assume a few more years added on to that, Maureen.
I think I got my first job in 46. That's
46, so that's 29.
Because
it's more than that, isn't it?
39.
I don't know.
Sure it is.
Wait a minute, 46.
46 to 86 is 40.
Yeah.
I love it. There were moments in Cocoon where you guys, Jack Gilford, and so many other wonderful, Wilford Brimley, all on screen at the same time, and it was a history of show business in this century right there. It sounds staggering.
Well, Hugh and Jesse.
Yes, of course.
And Gwen Verdon.
And
yet, Jack Gilford.
And yet I understand that all of you didn't really know each other necessarily all that well. Your paths had not crossed.
I had never met Don, I don't think. No. And I'd known Hugh and Jesse for years, but I knew Jack Gilford. I knew Gwen, I'd met her, but I didn't know her, you know. And of course the young people I didn't know. But
something the two of you have in common, and I was desperately trying to find something that I could tie the two of you together, is you've both become so famous for portraying real historical characters. Of course, Emma Goldman in Reds, and people like Stephen Foster and Alexander Graham Bell, and a fictional fellow by the name of D'Artagnan in the movies. What about that? Are those the things that most people remember you for, respectively? Don?
I really wouldn't know. I suppose if I had a picture that people mention the most, it would be Alexander Graham Bell, I would think.
And what about Red Emma? Of course, an Oscar winner there.
Well, I guess not a heck of a lot of people knew about Red Emma.
They do now, I bet.
But no particular thing apart. Not really.
Is it a different thing in Hollywood to study a character, a real-life character that you portray back in 1938 or 1939, with Reds much more recently? Any differences that we can find out about how an actor prepares for something like that? Was it more important to be historically accurate then or now, for example?
Well, I don't know. I never ever got into that in-depth thing that a lot of people get involved in now. This was never my style. I don't know. I felt that I knew such a great, diverse section of mankind. In other words, my relationships were I had very few in the motion picture industry, but I knew a lot of people in all kinds of businesses. So I knew almost every kind of people that you could think about. I knew gangsters, I knew multimillionaires, I knew the wastrel children of the multimillionaires. You know, I knew so many that I always felt that I knew enough to be able to assemble whatever I needed out of the acquaintances that I've had.
And also, all I did was read Emma's autobiography. But you can't act except what's in the script. So that if you wanted, I read her autobiography, which was heavy furniture. I mean, and humorless. I could also add not one titter, you know. And then you put that aside, and I said, well, you can't act that. You can only act what's in the script. I mean, so that's what you do.
But there is humor and life aplenty in Maureen Stapleton.
Well, I hope.
Don Ameche, staying ever young in Cocoon, I might add, for 20th Century Fox. And I'm in New York City for KCTV5. I'm John Tibbetts.